but AOG cuts off Onic PH. Witty takes a lot of damage, survives it with Revitalize, but RWM comes out in backline from Kill. King Kong on top, Fear of Misery knocks
Shadow
him
kill.
back. Meanwhile, Shadow Kill. King Kong picks off Aaron Shiki while Fabian is in the backline dismantling Super Prince. It is absolute chaos as Briscoe re-enters on Fabian. He is split. TLID is keeping the position. Kirk in the backline. RWM catches two. Eternal Guard knocks up. TLID, the Lord, locked down by King Kong as Fabian is distracted. He was kicked away by Kirk, but he's gonna lose his life in exchange as now they're gonna...
Lucas can be that source of early damage. Well, Team Liquid ID will go for the Moskov with all of the dive on the side of Onic PH. You need that space creator at the same
previous meeting in the grand finals of the M6 World Series. Onic Philippines looking to retain their title as the strongest team in the world. And Team Liquid ID eager to steal the throne away.
One of the main things you have to really watch out for when you're watching an Onic PH versus Team Liquid ID match is number one, who wins the first initial trading of pokes for the first two minion waves. So you see Hezkiel was already forced out of the region. Super Friends hasn't popped his. So little things like this, the details are what these two are counting. So Onic PH will decide to not contest that first litho. So the Sentry will go to the side of Liquid ID.
Yeah, looks like Briscoe will take some bit of poke damage here, but if we're looking at the mid duo and how quickly they're able to clear lane, there isn't actually too clear of an advantage here as both sides are going to be able to manage rotations pretty cleanly overall. King Kong though, going for the mid lane, he's just a little bit of XP off of level 4. Hits it slightly too late, so Witty will survive.
Yep, second minion wave meetup at the mid lane. Another usual thing that happens between these two, and they force out the Revitalize from Witty. So that's two of the healing abilities that Team Liquid ID would want to use. Gone. Let's see if the Revitalize will be back in time later on for the next big meetup. Usually these two don't like to rotate into the gold lane because they just want to set up the farm for their gold laners very well, draw attention away, and just meet up in the center of the map or in the jungle.
And we do get confirmation as well that it is an Aran Badang, so luckily for us, no Roam Badang this time. That allows Team Liquid to play slightly more aggressively, right? Since they have Witty on the Gatot opening up the map for them against Briscoe's Cho. Now the first turtle gonna be coming out right now.
Yeah, tough boots built up by Briscoe's Cho. So it should help with all of the crowd control that he has to deal with trying to get vision.
Yeah, he's already messing with Fabian. Kirk comes in, gets caught in the RWM. Fabian retrieves the turtle away. Kirk pops the vengeance, but is stuck between 4 members of TLID. So first blood goes over to Fabian.
And King Kong is going to lose his orange buff. He was brought down low right before that turtle spawned. Kirk just tried to trade something. That's a Onic PH thing to do. Just find the trade. Luckily, Team Liquid ID decided not to invade the orange buff, so he'll still be able to get that, but this slows down the snowball of Onic PH just a little bit.
Yeah, you already mentioned as well during the draft, Renmar, that Team Liquid has a better team fight combination, and right, AOG, RWM, they got the Fist Crack as well, so it's going to be very easy for them to just 5v5 Onic overall, who... on the other hand, kind of have to play around pickoff, right? Since they have the Cho, Lucas doesn't actually tank quite as much as Gatot either, so they need a bit more finesse.
Joe and Granger, they see each other. Oh, Fabian! He found Kelra, who was trying to get the Scaled Lizard on his side, but Fabian was able to read the rotation that Kelra usually wants to do in lane to balance out and get a little bit more farm.
Yeah, great timing and rotation knowledge here. Being able to cut off Kelra while he's trying to get a little bit of farm behind his tower. So even more advantage going over the TLID now.
Yeah, Thunderbelt rush for Aran, so he's going to start building up stacks as the Badang. Because of that little trade, it's 600, nearing on 700 gold lead for Aaron Shiki in the gold lane. Kelra rushing the Hunter Strike. Let's see if the Golden Savage is able to balance it out a little bit in terms of the farm, because Team Liquid ID are supplementing Aaron Shiki very well.
Oh, in the meantime, Kirk being caught out by 3 members down bot. Fist Crack locks him in place. Vengeance keeps him alive. RWM trapping him behind the tower. Literally nowhere to run. Perfectly placed by Hezkiel. But now Aaron Shiki gets ganked instead. AOG comes in, cuts them off. Witty able to keep his gold lane alive against a 4-man gank.
Yeah, and because of what happened to Kelra with the kill on him by Fabian, Onic PH decided to call for the gank. Kelra!
A mistake!
He still got caught by Kelra, and just like that, in the snap, this is what we were talking about when it comes to Onic PH. They love to trade around the map.
Yeah, the turtle now being traded. Fabian steals it away and bursts down. King Kong killing spree to the Joy. Now chasing Kirk and Briscoe, but doesn't have enough stacks of skill 2 left to continue chasing. Witty and Yehezkiel are here. The flash combo knocks up 2, but Kirk doesn't have enough damage. And because of that, purple buff is stolen by Fabian. Kelra wants a kill, but Revitalize means he cannot get it.
Yeah, and just like that, Team Liquid ID answer back. Fabian sees Kelra again.
Yep, he's going back in. Electrifying beats the fifth break. Traps 2. Another double kill to Fabian.
Flavor Fave, too sweet for the Filipinos to handle right now. 6-1. And it looks like the string of losses that Team Liquid ID has garnered against Onic PH has bubbled up into this. Them in the lead, considerably so, 5 minutes into the game.
A massive advantage right now already. 3K to TLID. 5-0 on the Joy. We have enough. RWM in the mid lane looking for Super Prince. The 2-man knockup with the Eternal Guard. Yehezkiel gets punished as Onic collapses. Spear of Destruction will connect, but TLID not gonna look to continue this one.
Okay, Onic PH decided to collapse into the mid, try to force a little sequence. They were able to get one. Let's see what else they can get because TLID are still looking for more.
Fabian scouts out Kirk and Briscoe. Aran is here as well, but I don't think it's the angle they want. So Team Liquid not gonna try and force things here.
Both mages already have their first item, Glowing Wand. Starlium Scythe already built up by the Joy, while King Kong just finishes on Hunter Strike, 1,300 and climbing, or closer to 1,500 is the gold lead that Fabian has up against King Kong. 5-0-1 already.
You never really want to give a lead to a Joy in this way, especially to a player like Fabian. So TLID can definitely play around him right now. And Aran has already been able to participate in a lot of fights as well, even though ordinarily Badang shouldn't actually have that much pressure this early on.
Now Team Liquid ID will be able to get this turtle without a problem, as Onic PH will concede it. So that's the first 3 turtles going to Liquid Indonesia, while Onic PH are just trying to protect their side of the river, see what other farm they can get for the Hayabusa and the Granger. They're just waiting for the power spikes of those two. Briscoe goes in!
Flicker, Way of the Dragon, gets the kick on Aran, but AOG cuts off Onic PH. Witty takes a lot of damage, survives it with Revitalize, but RWM comes out in backline from Yehezkiel. King Kong on top, Spear of Misery knocks him back. Meanwhile, Shadow Kill, King Kong picks off Aaron Shiki while Fabian is in the backline dismantling Super Prince. It is absolute chaos as Briscoe re-enters on Fabian. He is left by his lonesome. So Kelra shuts down the Usurper.
Absolute chaos leads to a decisive victory for Onic PH in that fight. Team Liquid ID were handling it relatively well up until Onic PH were able to ignore some of the abilities that Liquid ID were throwing at them. At the same time, the Shadow Kill finding a Ranshiki meant a good amount of the damage for Liquid Indonesia was taken off of the game.
Now, Onic was able to just scrap that fight to victory, basically, allowing Team Liquid to think that they had the advantage, and then just baiting them out and waiting until their cooldowns were ready again to re-enter. Especially giving Kelra the shutdown on Fabian is huge. That is a 6-kill bounty that will immediately, like, just... What's the word? Just, like, boost him up in terms of farm.
Boost him up, he'll get the compounding interest if we want to get really fancy. It'll start building up for him. And despite the 2 early deaths in Kelra, just building his 3rd item, he went for the Sky Piercer 3rd. So they're banking on the idea that eventually they're going to start getting more kills for this Granger, which again, could be devastating if they do get those kills and they get those fights. And what we were talking about earlier about how Team Liquid Indonesia has that inherent timer in them that around 6.5 to 8 minutes they will try to find a sequence to level things out if ever they are at a deficit. That's exactly what Onic PH did there. They forced that fight in the river to get it to the point where Team Liquid ID's early lead has been almost wiped out. So it's a little bit more of an even ball game for this first Lord.
Yeah, Onic is aware of their power spike. They know what item timing. They're going to be able to face off against TLID a little bit more comfortably despite an early game deficit. So yeah, like you mentioned, only a 1k gold lead now for TLID here, but they will still retain control over the Lord Pit. Aaron Shiki going to be left to farm up top lane. The Moskov is actually 0-2-0, so not having the best time in comparison.
Anti-Karaz already built up by Widdy. Decided to go for the robe as his first item, so he gets a little bit more of the magic defense that he needed to build, especially up against Vexana's early pokes.
Kirk forcing out Flicker on your Heskeel. Now going to be taunted, but still very, very healthy. But that means his ultimate is basically all gone. Shockwave does some poke damage. Kelra comes in, does a lot of damage to Widdy, but Revitalize keeps him up. RWM kind of wasted, but a beautiful mid-break locks down King Kong into the AOG. Kelra bursts down Widdy in return as Fabian now goes on in. Once again, a beautiful stun from Aran. Double kill to the Badang, and Kelra is out of energy. Team Liquid take control, and the Lord.
Decisive entry by Aran. He garnered back-to-back MVP games in his previous game, and now he finds the big play. 3-0 and 4.
He's chasing. He gets a killing spree. He found the joy. He found Fabian.
Oh, he was able to get him. All right. And because of the kill onto that joy, he was able to build the Sea Halberd for himself. Unfortunately, that Fabian only just got to build up the Blood Wings. The little bit of shields probably could have helped him at that moment, but no point crying over spilled milk. But at this point, Team Liquid ID are in the lead. Onic PH will need to handle a push that will potentially mean the downfall of their middle turret if they decide not to defend it.
I think at this point, TLID are innately aware that Kelra is actually a huge problem. This Granger does a lot of damage. You saw how quickly he was melting Widdy of all people in that previous fight. Aaron Shiki is still a little bit behind on gold, so they're gonna need to wait for this Moskov to really match up. And until then, a lot of their team fight depends on Aran's setups into Fabian's electrifying beats.
Should be at around 30 stacks now for the Sky Piercer of the Golden Savage. TLID. Oh, it's just Aran showing himself here. Onic PH decided to focus on the Lord and give up the middle turret. More defensive items coming in for the frontliner. Athena shield already for the scattered Kacha. And another tower falls at the hands of Liquid. Onic PH's map has just gotten so small now.
Yeah, this is still very not ideal for Onic Philippines. Kelra is fed, that is for sure, but the less room on the map they have to play with, the easier it's going to be for Team Liquid to go for flank angles. Fabian is always going to be searching for this Granger in every single team fight, which means that Onic just kind of has to turtle in the base somewhat unless they can guarantee safety pushing out.
Kelra has the Magic Blade, so it should help with the little shield that he could get, especially when Fabian looks for him inevitably. So a little bit more magic defense for the Goldener of Onic Philippines. While Aaron Shiki has had a good time farming, it's actually Kelra in the lead with the farm. Aaron Shiki hasn't been able to get any kill or assist, but he has been handling the macro. The pushes in the side lanes that Team Liquid ID has came from Aaron Shiki.
Team Liquid still continuing to be aggressive. Fabian was able to steal the purple buff away once again. Rose Gold officially means Kelra's build is complete unless he intends to switch out his shoes later on down the line. The Lord coming up in another 20 seconds, and TLID already setting up macro on the other side of the map.
There's a hungry Hayabusa right now as Team Liquid Indonesia go for a 5-man distribution in the bottom half of the map. See what Onic PH will do in response. Okay, they're going for their 3-2 split now. They're in the objective, and of course Brusco just hovering around to help Kelra get a little bit more farm from the minion wave. Onic PH, I'm pretty sure they know at this point that Aaron Shiki is threatening the side lane push. Let's see how Onic PH will commit into this, seeing that they know where the Moskov is.
Yeah, Team Liquid ID can feel comfortable letting Aaron Shiki push bot lane since Spear of Destruction can just bring him into the fight whenever it is necessary. Now they're positioning aggressively. They're looking for King Kong. King Kong tries the quad shadow in, leaves one inside, but TLID is keeping the position. Kirk in the backline. RWM catches two. Eternal Guard knocks up TLID. The Lord locked down by King Kong as Fabian is distracted. He was kicked away by Kirk, but he's gonna lose his life in exchange as now they're gonna find two. Kelra gonna be able to find some pickoffs in the backline himself as Aaron Shiki comes to join in the fight, and that is going to be a triple kill for Fabian. Kelra looking for more, doesn't have the Death Sonata stacks anymore. Aaron Shiki fighting him directly with the Wind of Nature. Kelra dashes forward once again, that might be a mistake. Aaron chasing him, flickers forward, not able to finish off Aaron Shiki, and Fabian gets the shutdown.
The control control that Aaron Shiki showed. He could have stayed. He could have tried to get that kill. But Team Liquid ID told him, hey, you've got us and we got you. While Fabian
That's
has
one
gotten
more.
Super Friends.
The unstoppable streak for the usurper, for Flavor Fave himself. As Team Liquid ID prolong the fight and bait Onic Philippines into facing him directly. The Lord is cleared up eventually, but that is a momentum swing back in favor of Team Liquid.
Liquid ID able to balance out the fact that King Kong stole that Lord away. It diminished what could have been a massive win for Liquid ID, potentially even a game-ending win. But they were able to get the kills that they needed to get. But with that sequence, it is a harsh reminder for them that yes, Kelra's damage as the Granger really hurts. But it's also a reminder for Onic PH that they gotta be a little bit more careful because Liquid ID are more careful now. So calculated. 11-2-4 is Fabian's Joy, fully built already at this point. And Kelra just got hit with a poke damage from someone. Was that the Eve and the Moskov together somehow? Was that just the Eve? But that hurt.
He was getting juggled basically by the remaining members of Team Liquid, which is unfortunate, but Onic actually had a good idea of starting that fight, right? They entered with Kirk, baited out resources, then Briscoe timed his way of dragons perfectly so that Fabian couldn't retrieve the Lord, but then after that, they're kind of spent, right? They're split apart, and Team Liquid can just pick them off one by one. So they still got to be able to balance out their gameplay somehow.
4,000 and climbing is a gold lead of Liquid Indonesia, but at this point in this game, just a 1 or 2 item advantage, and Onic PH will have the resources to balance things out or even commit a fight if ever. But yet again, no purple buff for this Hayabusa. Liquid ID has been starving them. Who was able to get it? Oh, Super Friends was able to get it though.
At least that's something for
Yeah,
Onic
that's
PH,
something.
but you don't want to be in a position in a game where you have to say like, hey, at least we got something, right? Especially being Onic Philippines, the champions of M6. Renmar, what do you think they need to be able to do in this position to turn the game around?
Well, usually they will play for trying to win it around the fight, sending the 4-1 split, try to balance it out with the turrets, and they just hope that the 4 left around the objective are actually going to be able to win and get the kills. So far, Liquid ID have been executing the team fights a little better, so now they just have to bank on the fact that they need to play the team fights better. So both have gone for a 4-1 split, so 4-4 around this objective. Fabian already sees Briscoe!
Briscoe! Immortality is gone! We see King Kong trying to save him, but he's not going to be able to do so. Ogi Shadow Kill though shuts down Fabian. In the meantime, Aaron Shiki in the backline on top of Kirk. Vengeance, pop RWM trapping King Kong! He's picked up! Witty slays Kirk as well. The beast is down. It is now a 4v2. Kelra still alive, looking for Aran. He actually dodges the fifth break! And Kelra shuts down the Badang! Continuing the snipe from behind, but his survival was key for Onic Philippines.
Kelra and Super Friends remain, but Liquid Indonesia, they will be able to get this Lord without a problem and without their jungler. Way too risky if Kelra and Super Friends got close, but it looks like, will they? Could they? Can they?
Kelra still trying to go in. Eternal Guard misses. Yehezkiel gets terrified as Aaron Shiki tries to jump on Kelra. Once again, the Lord is low, but no jungler is alive. It is a 50-50. Aaron Shiki secures it. Kelra drops low. Spear of Destruction misses, and now Aaron Shiki needs to back off as Briscoe is back, but he gets terrified. Dashes out of the Lord pit. Looks like there'll be no further casualties here.
Less than 100 HP remaining on the Lord when Super Friends hit it with the Cursed Blast. We thought that the Vexana could have potentially taken it away, but just a little bit left. And one basic attack from Aaron Shiki meant that Liquid will be pushing with this third Lord of the game.
Aaron Shiki had faith. He literally stopped attacking the Lord when he saw that skill indicator.
Yeah.
Because he knew any more damage would probably give the kill to Super Friends. So
exactly.
Really good micro. Again, showing you why these are the strongest teams in the world. Lord will crash in mid lane, does some good damage. Spear of Destruction lands down bottom. Aaron Shiki jumps in, gets knocked up, isn't able to kill King Kong, but the damage is done as Onic cannot defend their bot tower. Fabian looking to threaten. Kirk trying to find an angle as Purify is forced out, and Aaron Shiki is able to dash back through. But Kirk comes in! 3-man push kills off Aaron Shiki, but they're taking so much damage in return. Fabian with the electrifying beast, he gets kicked into the wall, but he's not picked off because Aaron is there to defend Ogi's Shadow Kill as the base is exposed. Witty going to be game 1, going to Team Liquid ID.
Liquid Indonesia immediately from game number 1 have already destroyed the predictions of mine and Renmas. 2-0? No. We gotta respect. We have to respect.